the theme of the weekend and having everybody back out and, you know, restrictions lifted and people feeling free to leave, it's what we've always said. It doesn't change. Just get where you're going safely. You know, we in law enforcement have a saying to our folks that if you don't show up to the scene, that you're no good. So if you crash on the way or you cause a problem or you don't get there, you're no good to anybody. And same thing with family and vacations. Your vacation is completely ruined if you're on the side of the road getting a summons, you know, from the police because you're going too fast, or your vacation is completely ruined because you're involved in a crash and now you can't make it to your destination. So it's about getting there safely. It's about relaxing, planning delays into your trip. I know it's the first long weekend, you know, you've got one extra day, but you always have to plan for DC traffic or, you know, Stafford traffic or whatever comes up, because if your timeline is so condensed that you have to, you know, be from this point to this point in an hour, and, you know, whenever that delay happens, it just throws everybody into a loop. They just start making bad decisions. So plan accordingly and know that there are going to be a lot of people who, just like you, want to be out and they want to enjoy the weekend. They want to enjoy Memorial Day for the first time in, you know, a year. They want to be able to, or actually 2 years, they want to be able to do these things. But if you don't arrive safely, or you've caused a crash, you're involved in a crash, or even if you're not driving defensively and somebody hits you, you know, your vacation has been ruined and you don't get that time back.
And when you come up to a red light, if you see in your back and you see that it's turning yellow, be safe, stop, and when it turns green, hold on and make sure you don't have traffic coming.
It's about not being distracted and knowing that even though that you know there's technology out there, you have to go back to the basics of driving. It's, you know, stop completely, look all directions twice, proceed carefully into the intersection, and know that something else is coming. You know, there are people who are going to run red lights. The statistics show it. There are people who are speeding. You know, we're trying to keep that to a minimum. But just know that driving has gotten increasingly more dangerous in this area because traffic is heavy. I mean, it's 10 o'clock in the morning and traffic on 17 is backing up, getting on 95. It's Thursday, so some people took Friday off for their vacation, so they're starting to travel early. So it's just a congested area, and we have to learn to think about that when we're making our driving plans.
And double so for 95. I mean, you just plan on 95 over the course of a holiday weekend is you're going to run into a lot of stop and go traffic. It's
going to be more stop and go, yes. If you get anywhere on 95 without hitting traffic, you have had a blessed trip, and it's to be brutally honest, that's what it is, because there's so much construction, and we're gonna see it here in a minute. There's so much construction, so much traffic, so much traveling, and again, people have to remember 95 is the main thoroughfare from Maine to Miami. That's thousands of miles of roadway that comes right through Stafford County. And Stafford County is not built like other jurisdictions. We don't have secondary roadways. We don't have the infrastructure for people to get off of 95, go around traffic, and then resume their trip. It's 95 or Route 1. And neither one of those are designed to sustain the traffic amounts that we have these days. So it becomes impassable. And you know that you're gonna be sitting in a line of traffic with 100 of your closest friends sitting around you, trying to get someplace, and you're all trying to get to the same place, the next mile marker, and it's going to be a rough trip. But you have to learn to think through that and relax and just understand this is just part of the day right now. You know, nothing I can do right now is going to fix any of this traffic or the situation I'm in. So, you know, when you got in the car, you heard, you know, jazz playing. That's how I keep calm. You know, everybody gets to their breaking point in traffic with either red lights. You know, there are days when I'll try and get from the north end of the county to the south end of the county on Route 1, and I will miss every red light in the county. Mm-hmm. And you start, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but you start getting angry and you get frustrated because you just want to get to where you're trying to go. But you have to do things that calm you. You have a conversation with your passenger, listen to music, you know, just know that I can't make this situation any better, but I can certainly make it worse. And when you see those, you know, red and blue lights turn on behind you, you've made the situation worse, and and the day is no longer in your control.
And as you often say, especially when you're dealing with speeding, you often hear, well, I was late. If you were late then, you're going to be later.
If we stop you, there's a whole lot more we have to do on a traffic stop now. There's a whole lot more information we have to collect, and we have to make sure it's input in the computer. So the traffic stops are getting longer. So it's not going to be, you know, a quick stop. And if a summons is written, again, we've got to write it. We've got to do all these things, run information. So you're losing another 10 minutes at a minimum of your travel because you're already late. And again, you know, we say all the time, if you're late, you're late. I mean, there's nothing you do to make that time up.
And when you're on the side of the road having to deal with, especially on the interstate, it's important to follow the move over law and to move over just for the officer's safety, or whether if you're a VDOT worker on the side of the road. It gets pretty scary, I know.
It does. I mean, and down 95 now, you notice there's jersey walls, there's no shoulder. So in order to take action, you have to time it. You have to try and stop somebody where there's a shoulder, where there's space, and you know, when you turn the lights on, it's hard to say what people are actually going to do. So when there is no shoulder, there's no space, we need all the room we can to work. And there are some times where, you know, to be completely honest, we won't make a stop because there's nowhere safe to stop somebody, and risking our lives and the lives of the person who we're trying to stop is not worth, in most cases, you know, that summons. In some cases, you know, we're going to follow until there's a safe place and we're going to stop them because your driving behavior is that egregious. But we always have to weigh the risk to the rest of the public with what this stop actually means. So you'll see speeds a little bit higher. You'll see drive behavior that's not what we want. But again, is it worth stopping that person in all this traffic at speeds reaching 80, 90 miles an hour to, you know, change my behavior? And it's a decision you have to make. When traffic's light, yes, but when tractor trailers are taking your cover off and people aren't moving over, and you just get that feeling that this cannot go well, it's probably best to let that violator go or record the tag. And I've done it before. I'll record the tag, run a transcript, find out who that person is, and I will find them later